Oh, for sure, Jesse. There'll be more team-ups. Who is DB Cooper? I already have the answer. It's my buddy Eric. New evidence may crack one of America's greatest mysteries. A parachute found in an outbuilding in North Carolina could be the new evidence that may crack the 53-year-old DB Cooper case. Could lead investigators to the identity of the man who jumped out of a hijacked plane carrying $200,000. Still one of the most interesting mysteries ever. That has a super simple answer. He died before ever even hitting the ground. He didn't survive. That's what I believe. Thanks for some Cav. And Cole. That man parachuted straight to Valhalla. In fact, I don't think he even got a chance to open the parachute. This is part 1 of a 2-part series. I'll pull up part 2. Thanks, Hawks. I'm glad to hear it. Yeah, so far, pretty much everyone's been really liking Cheeky, so I'm super happy about that. I did not know Drake was in a lawsuit. More than 5 decades ago, mild-mannered passenger in a business suite boarded a Seattle... We already know the story. I'm not going to fucking lore recap on you. You can go to previously on Dragon Ball Z if you want to see the whole thing. Watch the Lamino video on it. Where's the new evidence? In 2016, after turning over every credible lead and suspect, the FBI seemingly threw up its hands and declared in a statement that it was rerouting resources to other investigative priorities pending any new information, particularly physical evidence such as parachutes or money. Now the agency might have gotten a new break in the case for the first time in decades. The real McCoy. Retired pilot, skydiver, and YouTuber Dan Greider told Cowboy State Daily. What a newspaper. That's like a comic book organization. That he may have found the missing link after uncovering the modified military surplus bailout rig he believes was used by DB Cooper in the heist. It belonged to Richard Floyd McCoy II and was carefully stored in his deceased mother's storage stash until recently. I hit that like baby talk on the stored. Stoid. McCoy has long been one of the FBI's leading suspects after successfully pulling off an identical but better executed hijacking in Utah just 5 months later. That rig is literally 1 in a billion, Greider said of the distinct parachute. McCoy's children, Shantae and Richard III, cool name, or Rick, agree with Greider that they believed their father was DB Cooper, a secret that shrouded the family but wasn't overtly discussed. It's the site you're on. Boah! You're right, I'm on Cowboy State Daily right now! I had no idea. It's just the first thing that came up. For years, they said the family stayed... What? For years, they said the family stayed mum out of fear of implicating their mother, Karen, whom they believe was complicit in both hijackings. Upon her death in 2020, they broke their silence to Greider after being contacted by him off and on for years. Greider, who has been researching the case for more than 20 years, documented this investigation in a lengthy 2-part series on his YouTube channel, Probable Cause. YouTubers are cracking the craziest fucking cases these days, man. That's so hype. On Monday, Greider released a 3rd video, DB Cooper Deep FBI Update, where he announced the FBI's new and very recent efforts in his discoveries. After watching his first 2 videos, Greider said FBI agents contacted Rick and Greider to see the parachute. It was the first investigative move by the agency since issuing the 2016 statement. Have you seen Trench Tales Game? No, I haven't even heard of it. Greider and Rick McCoy traveled to Richmond, Virginia in 2023, where they met the FBI agents. They took the harness and the parachute into evidence, along with skydiving logbook found by Shantae that aligned with the timeline for both hijackings, providing another vital piece of the puzzle. Also present at the meeting was Greider's friend Laura Savino, a retired commercial airline pilot and award-winning author of Jet Boss, a Female Pilot on Taking Risks and Flying High. Savino said the agents were professional and stoic. Considering they had requested the meeting, it was clear they were taking it seriously. Crucial to the discovery are the unique alterations of the parachute that have been well documented by Earl Cossey, a veteran skydiver who owned and provided the parachutes in the 1971 hijacking. Grider and McCoy's children feel it's those small details that provide definitive evidence that tie Richard McCoy to D.B. Cooper hijacking. So he survived? That's what I'm getting out of this? He actually survived and then did that follow-up heist? This man's a superhuman. He should have been recruited by Stan Lee. How the fuck? Thanks, resub shook. Would you make an unscented version of Cheeky? Yeah, we actually already are. It'll be available in the next month. That blows my mind. Where's the video they're talking about, though? I'm guessing this is the one they're referring to? Oh yeah, they said it was the part 3. I just didn't see part 1 or 2. That's pretty cool. Let me see what the parachute looked like.
We just solved it.
That's a mic drop right there. I love that. Man's fiddling with his parachute and he's like, you know what? Nah, that's checkmate. We solved it. It is a cool parachute.
Literally. This is the rig because they know what rig he used when he jumped that night.
Right.
They supplied him the rigs.
Right.
So they know what they supplied him.
That is true.
This is the rig that he used. This is the rig. Yes, that was the rig.
He's even got a banjo back there. Love it.
Amateur YouTube video. If you just watch that opening sequence, a couple things in there, some voices that you may or may not be familiar with, but I'm going to tell you the history on what happened here. I produced DB Cooper Part 1, my first video. I took almost 20 years of video footage and traipsed around an investigation, and I produced DB Cooper Part 1. That video did very well and up and on the air and convinced a lot of people. In my opinion, Richard Floyd McCoy was definitely DB Cooper. Because of DB Cooper Part 1, I got 2 phone calls. Huge phone calls.
That's so cool, man. Good for him. I think he probably did crack it. Based on what I've read here, I think he actually got it. DB Cooper was Richard Floyd McCoy, and he somehow survived that jump. I don't understand how. The Lord chose him to be his warrior. Because that is like an impossible feat. No, DB Cooper is canonically Loki. That's true. I don't know, man. People have been claiming to know who DB Cooper is for years. Yeah, but he's right. If you know the story of DB Cooper, you will know that the parachute is known exactly what they gave him, and he's claiming to have that exact parachute here. The FBI seems to be thinking so as well. The family of Richard Floyd McCoy also seems to think so and has thought so for a while. I don't know. It's pretty overwhelming amount of evidence, to be honest. Physical evidence as well as testimonial evidence. It's pretty solid. Thanks to Prime Gabo. They have his log dates. Andy committed a similar hijacking months later. Also true. I think that this is probably dead to rights here. Let's see something. He died in 1974. Richard Floyd McCoy. Not the YouTuber. He's not like a ghost or anything. How many people claim to have solved it over the years, though? Well, this is the first person to produce actual physical evidence. Like, real physical evidence. Before this, all we had was, like, I think it was a couple of bills. Thanks, resub, Caleb. Nice. Love to hear that, Caleb. Attaboy. They still won't find him. It's been too long and the case has been tainted so much. Well, he's dead. They can find him. They can just go to his gravestone and arrest the corpse if they wanted to. But like, the evidence is overwhelming. Thanks, resub, Charmacy. Any more vids on the storage unit? Yep. We got a other channel video going up on the storage unit where we more thoroughly go through and show everything. It was crazy, the stuff in that storage unit. Nothing like overly valuable, but fucking weird and wacky stuff in it for sure. Before this, who else did you think DB Cooper was? I don't remember all the people I thought it was. The main thing I've always believed is that he died. He didn't survive the jump. Most experts thought it impossible to even survive that jump. Fucking pitch black, the wind, like all of it was a miracle to have survived, and I guess he did. Thanks, Resub Blueberry. McCoy's death is actually pretty crazy because he got sentenced to 45 years in prison and escaped by making a fake handgun out of toothpaste and stole a garbage truck with his fellow inmates. They committed a bank robbery together soon after, and he was killed in a shootout with the FBI. Didn't see that in his Wikipedia. Thanks for your sub, Thomas.